All right, today we have a really nice do-it-yourself repair video on how to replace the Connext 7-inch Yamaha screen. These are frequently delaminating, getting that bubble glue inside the screen leaking out. Super common, and we have our updated anti-delamination screen to drop in here to fix the issues at about half the price of buying a new display unit. So keep watching for more information about how to do that and how to fix this issue without the high cost of a dealer replacement. So first off, we'll take a look at online. There's a lot of customers that have the same issues, that big bubble in the middle. It happens to pretty much all of them with enough time and sun exposure, just after a few years in some cases. So you'll also see like a silver strip at the top. Like whenever the delamination happens, the screen sort of slides down and exposes a silver strip, and that's related to the delamination issue. Just that glue lets go and starts sliding down, just like you see here in all these pictures from people online. So no need to go and buy a new unit for almost $3,000 or more. You can simply restore your existing unit with our display, as we're going to show you. Just navigate to the website mtcscreens.com. We'll have a couple options for you. You can pick mail-in repair service or DIY repair kit. So you can follow the instructions and install it yourself if you're mechanically inclined, or if you don't feel comfortable, you want to send it in, no problem. It's almost the same price. Just mail it in. We'll get it fixed up and sent back for you. Go ahead and choose your method there and check out, and we will either get the new replacement screen sent to you or send you a mailing label to send it in and get it restored for you. So once again, saving several $1,000s with no hassle, no headaches, and best news of all, this is our updated design that's not going to fail again. So mtcscreens.com, get that anti-delamination design installed and not worry about this anymore in the future. So you can check out with credit card, PayPal, many options, and you can even pay after the repair is complete. We'll just invoice you when the job is done, and you'll be all set. So we'll go ahead and jump into the DIY repair video here. The first step is we're going to remove this panel from your boat. It's super easy. Look at the back. There is a couple nuts holding it in, and then a couple plugs. Those plugs just have a little tab. You're going to lift up on the tab on the plug harness and then just pull it away from the body of the display. That'll free it up. And then any other connections like USB that are connected, obviously disconnect those too. One issue that we do see a lot on these units is that after the glue inside leaks into the housing, it causes a weakening in the corners of this plastic box. So you'll see cracks and you'll see that glue actually leaking out. And in this case, it actually broke from the vibrations of the boat and possibly over torquing from the factory. So we're going to show you how to fix that as well in case you have that issue. And how to prevent it going forward. So we're going to first off free up the display unit from the bezel. This is going to be a 1/4-inch driver. Simply remove those. In some cases, you might have a the threaded insert is spinning because of the plastic broke. So we'll see how to fix that now. It'll kind of be just drop out. You'll see that threaded insert there in the top left. We'll just use sort of like a locking pliers or pliers to kind of hold that, so we can grab a hold of that screw and then remove it. And then we'll just reinsert that threaded insert later on and just resecure it with some epoxy, and that'll fix you up just fine. We are going to reuse these 1/4-inch screws, so keep those handy. And no need to when you reinstall these, no need to over tighten it. This is very gentle, just basically hand tight. We don't want to add too much torque onto those weakened plastic housings and cause more cracking. So with the bezel freed up, we're going to have the display out. This is the PV700 is the name of the display. It's the PV700 TCS to be exact. And the first step, we just want to heat that front glass up. We want to put it on a heat plate. You can heat it up to about 190 for about 5-8 minutes or so. We're really just trying to soften the tape up that holds the screen on. If you don't have a heat plate, that's fine. You can use a heat gun. Just go around the perimeter. In the meantime, while that's heating, let's look at the DIY repair kit. It comes in a really nice box. It includes the common professional grade tools that you're going to use to install it. Includes our updated screen as well. It looks just like factory, just much more durable. And it's going to have the same color, brightness. No programming needed on these either. So now that front glass is kind of like hot to the touch, we're going to use the tool that comes in your box just to kind of distribute some isopropyl alcohol around the border. And what that's going to do is that's going to just really loosen up that tape bond of the glass to the plastic housing, and that's going to make it really easy to remove. So In the video here, you can see that plastic pry tool that comes in your repair kit. Just dip that in some isopropyl. Kind of go around the edges. Take your time here. No need to rush. Let the isopropyl and the heat do the work of softening that tape up. We want to really prevent cracking the glass. We want to prevent any sort of injuries or anything. So just use common sense there. Be patient and take your time. Don't rush it. Use a lot of different passes. Each subsequent pass will get easier and it'll cut through more tape as you go through. So just kind of be aware of that. Just kind of keep going around. If you have a heat gun, just kind of heat up that perimeter in black. That's where the tape is. And just until it's hot to the touch. So now you can see that after a few passes, we've successfully sliced through that tape, and now the screen can come out. So we'll go ahead and remove the yellow tape very carefully. Of course, this is delicate electronics. Just remove the tape. These wires we're going to reuse. Just pull them away from the screen. We're going to reuse those. And then the orange digitizer cable. Here we can use the pliers that come in the DIY repair kit just to kind of separate that yellow tape and allow us to access the digitizer connector. So obviously be patient here. You gotta take your time and be careful. Remove that tape. We want to prevent any damage to the unit. So you don't want any tools cutting off anything on the board. So don't use too much force. Now that we've freed up that tape, this connector is just a sort of a collar. You can use this tool to kind of open it and press down on the locking collar evenly. Just kind of reach around there and push down just like that. It'll unlock, it'll click, be very gentle with it, and then you can free up your digitizer connection. So you can see all that glue there in the bottom. We're going to clean that out just to prevent any further leaking. And this is the old screen. You can see what that delamination is it's the LCD and the digitizer glass are totally separated. You can just peel it away by hand. And that is what is causing all of your bubbles and your sliding and all the other issues with these units. So it's pretty messy. It's just a glue that's not meant to last too long, unfortunately, and our new design doesn't have this issue. So with the old screen removed, go ahead and use your tools to scrape up as much of the old glue as you can. It doesn't need to be perfect. We just want to basically prevent any of that glue leaking out from the front or the back. So grab up as much as you can there. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. And then we're going to move on to the next step, which is to use your plastic scraper tool that comes in your repair kit. Just go around the border and remove all of the old tape. So this will be a little bit of a sped up process. This is also a step where you want to take your time and be patient. Don't rush it. Don't use too much force. We want to prevent any damage to this internal motherboard here. The isopropyl alcohol used is a 91%. You can find that at any store, any Walmart, hardware store, stuff like that will have isopropyl alcohol. And that really does a good job of softening up the tape and removing the glue. All right, so we got the plastic scraper tool. Just kind of distribute some isopropyl alcohol in there occasionally. And then that will really do a good job of softening up the glue. So you can remove it, go around, take your time. It'll take a few passes to get it really good. But once that plastic surface is cleaned up of all the residue, all the glue, we'll go ahead and move forward with kind of a final pass to clean up any residue. Get that nice and smooth for the new tape that's going to bond your screen to that. So we want it to be as clean as possible to have really good adhesion to that plastic housing. All right, so now the surface is really cleaned up and the glue at the bottom is removed. So we're going to do the first step, which is to install the digitizer connection. So with that connector still unlocked, we will take the digitizer and you can orient the tape and do whatever you need to gain access to it. We don't want to tear that cable. It's a very delicate cable, so use common sense here. You'll slip it in the connection, you'll feel it go in and then stop. And when it stops, hold it with one hand and then lock that connection just like that. So you want it to be even and straight and all the way in. And then you can re-secure that little circuit board and move on to the next connection, the white and black backlight connector. That just slips right in. It's a friction fit. There's no lock there, and it only goes in one way, so be aware of that. Don't force it in. If it's not going around the right way, just flip it over. It's probably 180 degrees upside down. Unfortunately, the camera is not really picking it up here very well, but it should be very obvious as to what orientation it goes in. It'll have like a top and a bottom on that connector. There you can kind of see it. The wires should be on the left side when looking at it. That's how you orient the black and white cable. And then just slip in this one. This also only goes in one way. Line it up evenly before applying force. There are some pins in there that you could bend, so be careful. Align it in straight, evenly, and it will sort of notch into place. All right, that's pretty much all there is to it. So now we will do a quick test here on the bench. Just plug it in, apply power. If you've got your boat access, you can take it out there, plug it in, make sure all of your connections are good. It should be bright. Your touch response should be functioning as it should when it boots up. And we're all set here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hold it up with one hand, kind of levitate the screen away from the housing, and then expose that backing strip of your tape. And then just go around and remove all the tape strips. So that double-sided tape is going to be exposed. Line up the edge. I use the right side in this video. The edge and the top are in perfect alignment, and it will just drop right into place. Apply a little bit of pressure on the outside to really get that bond. And this is a completed screen now, so that is sealed up from water intrusion. Everything works well, and we can move on to the next step here in this case, which is kind of optional. If your plastic housing wasn't cracked like this one, you won't really need to do this, but we'll just show you how to do it anyway. And just get some more life out of this plastic housing, this broken, cracked housing. So using some plastic epoxy, any sort of two-part epoxy that's for plastics, is you can find at AutoZone, any auto store, any hardware store. We'll prepare that surface by using some isopropyl alcohol to remove the glue. Do a test fit. Push that threaded insert in. That's how it's supposed to be before the plastic cracked from the glue exposure. And we'll go ahead and mix up some of that two-part epoxy. It's this particular model is a JB Weld. It seems to work pretty well with this equipment. Small amount, just to mix even circles on a piece of paper, and then blend the epoxy in really well so it's mixed into one part very consistently, very evenly. So now that the epoxy is mixed up properly, we can apply some of that into the area where the plastic insert's going to go. That metal insert, I should say, into the plastic. We want to get all surfaces covered, if possible. By the way, latex gloves helps a lot in this installation. It's a lot of glue, so have a couple of those on hand, if possible. So we'll drop that threaded insert back in where it went originally, apply some more of the epoxy to the outside, and also the broken plastic if you have it still. If you don't have any plastic left, if it like cracked and fell out inside your boat somewhere, you can just go ahead and add some epoxy to the top here to secure it, and we will just drop that plastic piece back where it's supposed to go as best as you can. This is not going to be perfect, but all we really have to do is get that threaded insert to stay in place so we can tighten it to the housing. So we'll add a little bit of extra epoxy here, let it dry before applying torque onto that nut or that insert, and then yeah, we'll move on to the next step, the reinstallation. Right, so the epoxy is dried. Take note that you want to orient the screen properly so the plugs are on the bottom in your bezel, and we will just get it lined up to reinsert into these 4 screws. Your particular boat may have a slightly different bezel, but the fundamental idea of how this is mounted should be about the same. You can take a look at it on the back and see how it is removed, but this is just one example. This display was used in many, many different boats, so you can kind of use your judgment here. Use this as a reference point, and if it doesn't match exactly, just kind of use common sense on how to remove it and reinstall it. So we're going to tighten this up, again, just basically hand tight. Do not over tighten these. We don't want to put stress on that repaired connection or the weakened connections if it hasn't cracked yet. And then we are all set. So this is ready to go back in your boat. There's going to be no programming needed. All of your hours, all of your settings are going to be exactly as they were before. And we'll take a nice look at that. It looks perfect. It's a perfect fit. Everything's reacting well, and you've fully restored your display at a fraction of the price. So it's a very satisfying job as a do-it-yourself kit. But again, if this looks a bit too daunting, have no fear. Just send it in and do the mail-in service. It's not much more expensive, and we'll get it taken care of for you and sent right back. Thanks for watching this video. You can like and subscribe if you want to see more repair videos on screens, and you can check out the product at mtcscreens.com.